Okay guys, it is Sunday and it is the 16th of February and whoa, I just knocked down the cover for the KitchenAid. I am going to be baking today, so I'm baking a loaf of bread. So that is the microwave with my melted butter, so I'm going to grab that. Three tablespoons of melted butter. I'm baking regular bread and I'm going to start my sourdough starter today. So this is 3 tablespoons of sugar, yeast, and 2 1/4 teaspoon of instant dry yeast, and a 2 1/4 cup of warm water. I'll leave the recipe down below anyway, but this is the start of my bread. In here I have, Alexa stop, 6 cups of flour and 1 tablespoon of salt. So we're just going to add in all the ingredients. Going to add these in.
We need 1 tablespoon, not 1 teaspoon.
Alexa, stop. She's eavesdropping. So now I'm going to start dumping in some of these ingredients, the dry ingredients. And I'll start stirring them up with the KitchenAid. But I'll let some of the flour get incorporated and then I'm going to do the rest. So this is what I'm up to today, guys. It's Sunday and I figured I'd vlog it because it's going to be a nice easy day. Alright. We're going to lock the KitchenAid into place. And I'm going to put the guard on there, of course, because if I don't, flour is going to go everywhere. It usually goes everywhere anyway. Okay, it's locked and we're just going to start on low. And I usually use the KitchenAid until the dough pulls away from the side of the bowl. So I'm just going to do this because this is loud and I'll come back and check in with you guys. Alright guys, so here's my dough. I have to let it rise for an hour and a half. I just sprayed a little cooking oil in the bowl and put it in there. And now I'm just going to let it rise. So, an hour and a half. Alexa, can you start an hour and a half on the timer?
1 hour and 30 minutes. Starting now.
Alright, so I'm going to cover this over and let it rise. Okay guys, I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do for a long time and I haven't done it yet. I'm going to start my sourdough starter. Okay, so I have a jar. I have the sourdough kit. Okay, and it has this little sticker that shows the temperature. I'm not really sure how that works. I don't even really need that right now. I have the little cheesecloth thing here to put over it. Okay, so I gotta get measuring cups. That's gonna be my first task. Okay, and I'm following my friend Jacqueline's instructions. So, she said just whatever you're going to do to start with the same measurement of flour and water. So, I'm going to use a 1/2 cup. Or is that too much? No, 1/2 cup should be good. Okay, so I'm going to start it with unbleached flour and see how it goes. I don't have any whole wheat flour right now, which I know is good to start it with, but I don't have any right now, so we're going to try it with unbleached flour and just see how it goes. Alright, here's my unbleached flour. You know what? I think I'm going to go with a 1/4 cup instead of a 1/2 cup. Just in case it flops. Because you don't really need much. because it's going to double in size anyway. So, let's open up the unbleached flour. And, okay, this is a third a cup. So we're going to use a third a cup because that's what measurement I have. So, what did you guys think about the whole controversy last night? I probably shouldn't get into this on my channel, but with the Canada-US game, I still think our Canadian fans, that was uncalled for. But we should have, politics don't belong in sports. That's how I feel. I have opinions on what Trump is doing, but I don't really think I want to get into any of that on my channel because my channel's not about that. So, alright, so you're going to use filtered water. And Jacqueline told me not to use quite the same measurement, to use a bit under. Now, everybody does this different, so you do you. But I have a water machine over here that has, like, filtered water, like spring water. So I'm going to use the room temperature setting on it. And I'm not using, it's a little under the mark of the cup here. So you know what, I think I'm going to rinse this out and put it in with the flour because I'm going to have to feed this every day anyway. So when I wash it, I'm going to just put it in with the unbleached flour. Alright, where's my little spatula? A little spatula and scraper here. So there's what I got. And I'm just going to mix it. I think I want a little tiny touch more of water in there. Just a touch. Literally a drop. Okay. Okay, it was sticking way too much to my little spatula here. So there's my consistency. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to have to ask Jacqueline if that's right. And then I'm going to keep it on my stove because I always have my teapot going. So I'm going to clean up this mess and I'm going to ask Jacqueline, and that's the start. So now I got to feed it every day and see how it goes. But I'll be right back because, well, I'll be back when something more exciting is happening. I just want to check this with Jacqueline. Here's my loaf of bread and my buns. Mike's just putting some butter on the top of them to give it that glaze. Don't go overboard with the butter, but Mike knows that. Mike used to bake bread all the time, so he knows. And my sourdough starter is up here because I always have my teapot going, so I figured it'd be nice and toasty up here next to the teapot. It'll keep it nice and warm. And I started, we have leftover stew for supper. I just put it in the pot from the fridge and I'm going to heat it up in a bit. But that's always on usually for my tea for the day. So this will keep it nice and toasty. Okay, guys, I touched a little bit earlier on everything that's going on with US, Canada, and all that stuff, and the hockey game last night. And although I don't agree with what our sports teams, what our fans, Canadian fans, did by booing the US, and it wasn't just at last night's game, it was other games. It seems like lately every time Canada and the US are playing each other, Canada's been booing for their national anthem, which I know a lot of Canadians are defending that, saying that they're not booing Americans, or not booing their anthem, they're booing Trump. But I still don't agree with it as a Canadian myself, because for one, politics shouldn't be involved in sports at all. It shouldn't be on the table. And not everybody in the U.S. agrees with things that Trump's doing. So you got to take that into consideration. This is the one and only time I'm going to address any of this on my channel. And then I'm not talking about it anymore because I'm not getting into politics. I love the U.S. I love our neighbors to the south. We've had a great long-term relationship between Canada and the United States. And if you agree or disagree with me, that's fine too, because we're all entitled to our own opinion. I'm not saying anything. Okay, personally, I don't like Trump, but I'll just put that out there. I don't. And you can agree with me or disagree with me. To be honest, I'm not even a very big fan of Justin Trudeau either. So it's not like America's leaders are the only ones that are like bad, in my opinion, bad leaders. And who's this? I don't know. See, this is why I don't want to get into this. But I'm just going to say I'm going to be friendly to my U.S. neighbors. There's a big movement going on now where Canada is supporting only Canada. We're buying Canadian products. There's certain American products that I can't boycott because, for instance, my pet food. I'd love to go, support my country the best that I can. But this is turning into a really bad situation. My cats have sensitive stomachs, so I'm going to have to purchase the Purina, which is an American brand, as long as I'm able to, as long as, they don't close up the borders to everything. But it's just, it's a hard situation because we've sent support to the U.S. when they've needed it. The U.S. have sent support up here when we need it. When we had here Hurricane Fiona, there was electrical teams that came up from Maine to help us out. When Nova Scotia, when Halifax had their fire, when the Halifax Harbor was on fire, the U.S. sent up help for us. So, we've had a great relationship, and now all this is going on, like I said. So, just know that I love Americans. I love you guys, and I know you guys don't all support Trump. And I know a lot of Canadians don't support Trudeau. So, but yeah, there's things that I agree with and I don't agree with. But it's gonna be interesting to see how the months going forward are gonna be. But I'm gonna lay that to rest. I'm going to support my fellow YouTubers that are American because you are my friends. I'm going to buy what I can from Canadian products to support my country, but I'm also not totally boycotting the U.S. Maybe I'm wrong for saying that as being a Canadian. I don't know. I love my country, and I know you guys love your country. It just sucks that this has to be the way it is. So, I'm not very political, so that's why I don't want to speak on politics. Like I said, we're all entitled to our own opinion. If you feel you need to leave hate comments down below, then leave them down below. But I'm trying to be polite as I can about this. I'm not bashing anybody, and I never ever will. I just really don't agree with what my country has been doing because it's not all Americans that are doing this. You know what I mean? So, we all got to do what's right for ourselves, right? In the end. So anyway, I just wanted to address that because I know I talked a little bit about it while I was making bread, and I just want to make sure that you guys know how I feel about it. So I've put a few comments on people's videos too, talking about the tariffs and stuff, like how is this going to change? But I haven't been bashing anybody. I'm trying not to. So I just hate the way the things are going right now with our two countries. I really do, and the world in general. But anyway, I hope you guys are okay with me just putting that out there. I just felt like I needed to say something because it's been bothering me. I've been literally thinking things, rethinking some things that I have to do and everything. I know there's a lot of Canadians that canceled trips to the States this year too. And according to reporters, Canadians spent $20 billion on vacations to the States last year. So a lot of people are boycotting. So I don't know what's going to happen to both of our economies. Hopefully we can both, if things go forward with everything, hopefully we can both become self-reliant. The U.S. is anyway, pretty much. Although there's things that the U.S. relies on Canada for, but anyway, let's just drop it here. There are things that we rely on each other for, but it's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be interesting to watch it unfold. But anyway, I just cleared the air with that. And I won't talk about politics anymore on my channel, because that's not what my channel is about. But just know that any of you guys out there that support me from the U.S., I love you guys. I always will, whether we differ in opinions or not. I still love you guys. And I love my fellow Canadians, and I love everybody. Anybody who supports me, and anybody, this is a community here. And I've had I have certain subscribers that have been with me since the beginning that are from the U.S. And I have family in the U.S. and I have lots of friends in the U.S. So, like I said, no hate here. Love everybody. So, I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys back on Friday. So take care of yourselves and each other. Bye, everyone.